Hello, my name is Haruta Mishura. Today I'll try to do a presentation about tourism in Brighton and Hove. As a case study, I chose a city called Brighton and Hove, which is located in southeast region of the United Kingdom. I have been there for about 4 years, being 2 years of high school students and other 2 years as a college student. I recognize myself as an educational tourist. I had a lot of friends and then I enjoyed every second of my life there. So I'll try to appeal to the attraction of Brighton and Hove today. This is the table of contents. First of all, I'll try to do a brief explanation of Brighton and Hove, the sightseeing place with activities that tourism can do, the marketing and promotional strategy in this city, and the solution to prevent the negative impact of over-tourism for locals and the community. First of all, I will explain the city of Brighton and Hove, which must-see places with my experience. Brighton and Hove is a city and a unitary authority, geographic county of East Sussex in southeastern England. It is located on the English Channel, 51 miles south of London, with which is closely linked by rails and superhighway. The city claims to be the largest in population on the southern coast of England. Comprises the seaside resorts of Brighton and Hove and surrounding communities. It is a main commercial centre of Sussex. According to the World Population Review, the population of Brighton and Hove in 2015 was 580,593. The population of this city has increased significantly in recent decades. As this background to diversity in this city has an important element to explain that. The City Council of Brighton and Hove has reinforced the policy to accept diversity, so that's so it costs the diverse population. Then the transportation which tourists use to get there is mainly railways and highways. It takes about 1 hour and 50 minutes by trains and 1 hour and a half by highway from London. Then I'll try to talk about the places and events tourists should go. Firstly, I mentioned the Pride LGBTQ plus community parade. Brighton and Hove is well known as a hospitality for LGBTQ plus people. In every summer, the parade, which is called the Pride LGBTQ plus Community Parade, is held, and the massive numbers of domestic and international tourists visit that parade. It is held in order to have a better understanding of diversity and the purpose of increasing donation to the local charities. According to the Brighton Parade organisation, they have raised over 920,000 million pounds for over 920,000 pounds for neighbouring charities, projects and the community groups distributed through the Brighton Rainbow Funds. At this parade, the massive music festival is held and you can enjoy the atmosphere of love and diversity. I attended this festival every year while I was staying, and I made a friend group which painted the face of the tourists in various colors for free. On the one hand, this city is located in the southeast coast and it attracts massive numbers of international tourists as well. Especially, it is known for the holiday side for people who live in the UK and the other European countries because of the coastline and the beaches. Needless to say, you can enjoy swimming and get tan at the beach. Besides, there is an attraction park which is called the Brighton Pier. In every weekend, the local families and the tourists visit there and then enjoy the coaster and all that. There are some activities that tourists can ride for free rental bicycles and run on the paved road along the beach. and enjoy the various types of attraction in Brighton, PA as well. Then the most famous place for tourists would be Loyal Pavilion, which is the symbol of this city. A loyal residence was built by George Force in Brighton as a villa. The exterior architecture is Indian Islamic, and then Chinese style is in interior. He had a sort of like artistic education. That's why he made this like kind of interesting architecture style. The massive expenses were spent on the construction of detached palace and the socializing after completion. As a result, it is said that he had a huge contribution to architecture, artistic aspects such as fashion and music. On winter season, the park in front of the pavilion is always renovated as a skating rink. It creates a romantic atmosphere, and of course, you can enjoy skating. Then my recommendation for sightseeing is definitely the lanes. It is an intricate street on the center of Brighton. This street has a passionate atmosphere of the teenagers who have interest in music and arts. It also reflects the culture of 1970s, and you can easily recognize the souvenir shop alongside the street, and there are thousands of cafes and underground music shelters. Also, the main attraction of these places is street musicians. Brighton and Hove have a bunch of talented musicians, so you will be able to see street musicians every day. Also, there are a lot of sightseeing places such as British Airways I-360 Viewing Tower, which is the 162 meters high observatory. You can enjoy the beautiful sceneries of the coastline. I have been there for quite some times. The view from there was absolutely amazing, and you can see the scenery of the coastline, centre of Brighton, and natural landscapes. Other than that, there are thousands of places tourists can enjoy the magical time. And next, I will discuss the promotional and marketing strategies in Brighton and Hove. As you can see, tourism is a main industry in Brighton. According to the Brighton and Hove City Council, the city attracts over 11 million trips that deliver nearly 886 million pounds of spending in Brighton and Hove. Additionally, tourism accounts for around 40% of all employment, equivalent 21,000 direct all jobs in the local community. This analysis shows that tourism in Brighton and Hove has a significant influence on local society. The goal they set up in promotional strategies in Brighton tourism is the long-term sustainability of tourism. When they achieve this goal, the potential benefits comes into Brighton and Hove. Firstly, it creates the new value in the tourism sector. They have made unique approach that is not to increase the number of the tourists, but they provide the opportunities opportunities that change the types of tourists when they visit, and then how long they're gonna visit. Besides, Brighton and Hove City Council says there is a deeper cultural relationship between the cities and local people. Tourism is embedded the most strongly in the city futures planning and the types of tourism, local future and lifestyles, which helps to increase the appeal of the tourism as a career choice. And so it can be said that like tourism, the city council thinks it is a significant way that due to protecting the relationship between the city and locals, it also creates the new employment opportunities and enhance the basement of tourism. It also reinforces the tourism business. The tourism industry is quite resilient to the business itself. If the tourism business was successful, business partners and stakeholders will have a huge investment in a place which has the purpose of sightseeing, and of course, people who are involved in the tourism business. Also, the city of Brighton and Hove is now trying to have a strong relationship with business partner, which includes stakeholders and the government, and lays their voice in the stage of decision making, which should be the representative of locals. It leads to the widely recognized analysis of issues and in the tourism industry and the expansion of many opportunity in there. Like the big city like Liverpool, Manchester, Birmingham have successfully used this approach to strengthen their role of tourism and help the sector become more understood and better integrated into the wider function of the city. As I, me- as I mentioned, the city of Brighton and Hove focused on achieving sustainable tourism in order to preserve the quality of life in local people. It seems like tourism in Brighton and Hove have nothing to deal with over tourism. However, the August 2019 reported over tourism has led to increase the cost of living of the locals and the decline in the quality of life. It also revealed that coastal cities and rural heritage sites are the most vulnerable. That means over-tourism is almost happening in Brighton and Hove. Over-tourism might threaten landscape, natural heritage, quality of life of locals. It also leads like serious contamination. To prevent over-tourism, the City Council identified the importance of quality more than number of the tourists. Therefore, the City Council is now encouraging long-term stay per tourist. It is quite a unique way to prevent the overflow of the tourists, and also more beneficial to the city because there is a higher possibility that they spend a lot more budgets. In order to achieve that, the cities of Brighton and Hove have to make additional values to the city. Brighton and Hove City Council mentioned use the value use the brand's consistency and then creativity and encourage, support and enable with others within the council and the city use the brand and promote the brand values too. This marketing approach is focused on making customers at it can call a fan of the city by decreasing the number of short-term visitors. They can protect locals and the city itself from negative impact of over-tourism. Also, the city has to pay attention to the heritage and the natural landscape because it's a sort of treasure of the locals. And then, like when I was the high school student, there was a volunteer, which consists by residents, local residents, and they cleaned up the coastline and they maintained the landscape. Yes, and then I have joined that activity of picking up the trash along the beach. As we learned from Benice's case, they should preserve the heritage such as coastline by investment on preservation, which including the construction and reinforcement. In order to do that, it will be an effective way to of developing specialized agency regarding preservation. As a summary, Brighton and Hove is a city that consists of diversity, beautiful landscape, various cultures, and lovely people. This city can be called a global city because all the citizens share the ideology of respecting people who have different values and perspectives. The city is always energetic and attracts tourists. Brighton and Hove encourage tourism as a business, but also They attempt to have a balance between conserving and maintaining the values of Brighton itself, including residents and the tourism industry, in order to avoid the negative impact of over-tourism. I had an amazing experience through staying in Brighton, and every moment was priceless. I'm guaranteed that all the tourists will be able to enjoy the trip on Brighton and home. That's it. That's the end of presentation. Thank you for listening.